conversational topics to bring up, and some you shouldn't, ever. Before we review this section, I want to share with you the art of conversation for meeting new people. The goal here is to start and carry on conversations so people warm up to you, quickly come to like you, find you interesting, and a little mysterious at the same time, desire to speak with you and spend time with you after meeting you for the very first time. Does that sound like something you'd like people to do upon meeting you? Then check out these conversation tips I have for you when talking to anyone new. Number 1, keep the conversation focused on them and what they like or do. It's better that you learn more about them first and foremost before they learn about you. It's not like you have anything to hide. It's just your time is valuable, and you don't want to drag the process on of getting to know this other person by you spending too much time talking about you. So focus more on learning about them before talking about yourself. Number 2, feed off of what they say and ask questions about those subjects. Keep the spotlight on them. No one ever does, so you'll stand out from all the rest as someone who's generous and genuinely interested in the lives of others versus bragging about all your accomplishments and just talking nonstop about nothing because you're maybe nervous. That's actually a good tip. If you're nervous, shut up. Don't say anything. Speak periodically, but with very thoughtful statements. Ask more questions opposed to making statements, unless you're responding to something that they said. Number 3, next, when they ask about you, don't give away the farm. Leave some information to discuss later. You can even respond with what you like or do as it relates to something they said. I also like to do that. In fact, just last week, I fill in the blank. Wow, we have that in common. Nice. Tell me more about that you just said. I want to hear more about that. It's kind of like acting like a little reporter, Tell me more about that. Number 4, keep statements about yourself brief. Allow them the opportunity to ask questions of you. The more you let them do the talking, the more you will witness how comfortable they are becoming with you. Even if the person you're talking to isn't going to be the one for you, they might know someone perfect for you. A recommendation coming from them might do you wonders, having met you and realized maybe you're not the one for them, but God, you'd actually be perfect for a friend of mine. Do you mind if I make an introduction? Okay, great. Keep in mind that one person you're talking to who isn't for you knows 5 to 10 other people who just might be perfect for you. Those 5 to 10 will know their 5 to 10 as well. That's sounding like 50 to 100 people you could probably meet with a personal recommendation from someone. So meet people just for the sake of meeting them and be thoughtful, go slow. Your energy will work its way around the room or at the table you're at, around town, between friends, and across the many ways to meeting someone who's just waiting to meet you too. Number 5, when it comes to learning if that special someone you're talking to is into you, there's only one surefire way to find out without you ever having to say a single word. Watch their body language. How long do they enjoy looking you straight in the eyes as they pour out their life story to you? How long do they stand or sit next to you? Do they turn away opportunities to mingle with others and just stick to you? Are they just hanging out with you the whole time? How often are they smiling and laughing at all your silly little jokes and natural mannerisms and gestures? How quickly do they turn off their cell phone or stop replying to texts or put that phone in their pocket to say, I'm not going to answer that call. I want to find out more about you. Yeah, I like our conversation. Yeah, continue. Tell me something else about yourself. Also, how often, and this is a good one, do they touch you casually? Oh, I know the feeling. I totally agree. And listen as their hand reaches out just to touch your arm or a shoulder again and again all night long, but just gently and with respect, but that gentle, subtle flirting. That's good. Beyond that can be scary. But you know the drill. Exactly. Now, without you making a move on your part, but openly and caringly, is that a word? Caringly? Allow the other person to approach you in the way you can only imagine. Stay calm, warm, friendly, confident, respectful, and when the date is coming to a close and it's time to leave, you can say, I really enjoyed meeting you. And they can say, me too. You're a lot of fun to talk to. And you can say, hey, I'd love to pick up from where we left off. When can I call you? All you have to do is to let things progress in that manner. And let it do so naturally, so that they're done step by step. And every step of the way is a natural progression of comfort and relaxation and assurance that nothing's going to go wrong, at least for now. Remember my other saying in another audio I mentioned, trust no one, suspect everyone. But always kind of leave them hanging on a little bit. Leave your customer wanting more. Never leave them fully satisfied. Never let them know your next move. Those are like sales and marketing strategies. And it's the same thing with relationships and doing the dance in the dating world. Hey, our time is up in the sense that I got to run, but I want to carry this conversation on again. When can I call you? Or when are you free? Hey, do you want to meet here tomorrow? Same time? Same table? That would be great. Okay, great. So, how about some of these opening lines to get the conversation started? These openers work well when starting any conversation. If you aren't comfortable starting a conversation, join one that interests you and offer a question or a comment or an observation, some feedback. Here are some questions to get you started. So, who do you know here? No one? Well, you do now. Hi, my name is. Great to meet you. What's yours? What brings you here? Then continue with questions to keep the conversation rolling. Tell me about yourself. What do you do? What do you like to do? What have you done lately for fun? Or what's new and exciting? Keep the conversation moving with inquiries related to certain activities, professional, business, fun. Eventually, you could get into something that might expose an experience where maybe they were hurt. Opens the door for a little vulnerability. That's an opportunity for you to share a story of your own or show compassion for what was shared. Oh, isn't that what couples do? They talk and share, intimate experiences of life. Yeah, my last boyfriend just, or my last girlfriend just, I don't want to go through that again. How did you hear about this event? Maybe they heard it from a friend, a website, company, a new resource for you to learn about events, etc. What other events or other topic did you attend or are you interested in? Again, show interest. Keep the conversation focused on them, their activities, their interests. You'll get your chance to work in what you do. And when you do, keep it brief, like I said. But again, so what other events are you going to? Or do you go to events like this before? Because let's say you're at a social event, for singles or something, So, what's your favorite food? Sushi, pizza, Italian, Mexican, Japanese, Chinese? What do you like? What's your favorite? Maybe you can take him or her to their favorite restaurant because you asked a question and you found out some information. Oh, I love pizza, especially like New York pizza or deep dish or thin crust. Well, put your thinking cap on and do some research. Hey, I know this great pizza restaurant. They have great New York style, deep dish, whatever it is that you like. If you like sushi. I love sushi, but I just don't know what to choose sometimes. Oh, I love sushi. Been eating sushi for thousands of years. Tell you what, let's go do sushi sometime, and I'll walk you through different pieces that you could try first, just to kind of whet your appetite and get to know the different names and the different, fish and what they're like and what they taste like. We'll call it a sushi tour date. How's that sound? Maybe you could take him or her again to their favorite restaurant, or even cook for them if you are a good cook, to continue the conversation later. Again, carrying on conversation is easy when you have information. And you're not going to get information unless you ask questions and listen more than you speak, and you find out about the other person. You're not going to be able to carry on a conversation if you just talk about yourself. I always say about myself when I'm out networking and stuff, well, tell me about you. And I go, no, I'm not that important. Let's talk about that one little aspect, that one little thing you were bringing up before, or, oh, what's that book in your hand? Or what's this? Or explain this? Or, can you elaborate? Tell me a little bit more about this. Or, hey, and I just keep throwing out the questions. Well, guess what? After a few minutes, I've got a lot of information to go on. And it's from that information that I can carry on the conversation quite well. And then 5, 10, 15 minutes later, they realize, wow, Bart really hasn't talked about himself at all. Wow, I like this guy. He's pretty cool, because nobody likes people who drown the other people out with their conversation, their nonstop talking, their fire hosing people to death with their words in their mouth. Nobody likes that. It's a big, big turnoff. At least it is for me. Do you enjoy any particular sports or activities? Or hey, what do you like to do, recreation on the weekends? Take in all this information about them so you can find little ways to bring up ideas for the two of you to maybe spend time together later. So far, you have their name. You know what they like to do. You know what they like to eat. You know what they like to do for fun and recreation. You're getting a lot of information. This information is helpful when it comes to getting to know someone faster and better with more precision. What kinds of things are you working on right now? Any projects or hobbies? Maybe they're working on a personal project for or outside of work that you can comment on. Maybe you can even help them with it. Are you serious? You're writing a book? Or you want to, or let's say like, for example, they're talking to me and they find out that I write books. I've written a lot of books. Well, I'm trying to write a book and let's say they don't really know I know how to write books. And they just say, well, I'm actually writing my first book right now and I'm really excited. Oh, really? Tell me about that. Yeah? How far along are you? Do you have the table of contents done? Do you have a cover done? Oh, those are all great things I need to work on. Well, what if I could help you just a little bit, give you some tips right here that could help you along? Like, for example, blah, 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 blah. You get the gist. Find out what they're doing and try to help them along. So many people go into first dates, blind dates, etc. with these high expectations. So much pressure. No, just toss all that out the window. Go to that date to find out about the other person and learn something. Learn something about someone else and about yourself. If it's written in the cards, if it's written in the universe and the stars, trust me, there's going to be a connection. The universe knows. That's why we should just go into the situation with just, hey, I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to take a break from my work or my day job or my responsibilities or whatever, I'm just out to have a little fun. So have some good conversation, get a little bite to eat, and see where things go. No pressure. If things don't work out, it is all right. That's the way to go about things. What do you think about the event so far? Or what do you think about X? If they were to respond with boring, I really don't want to be here. Wow. Well, that's your cue to suggest you both get out of there and go hang out in the lobby or, spend a little more quality time somewhere else. In fact, I've been to events where they were really kind of boring. So I said, hey, why don't you and I go sit over there at that table far, far away from them? It's still part of the event, so it's not like we're going to miss anything if they say anything, but we can still have our own good time and our conversation without all this interruption and all their stupid agenda stuff. Oh, sounds good to you? Okay, great. Hey, waiter, we're going to be over at that table. Can you come over and bring us a couple menus? Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. I tell you, keep the conversation going until afterwards, when you might suggest, again, spending a little time together before they go home. In fact, that's happened to me, where I said, hey, the event's coming to a close and maybe there's someone that caught your eye and you're like, hey, before we go to our cars and go home, can I just spend a few minutes just talking to you right here? We can just sit right here and have a little conversation. And they do. And before you know it, everyone's gone. And of course, it's like the hotel or something like that. So it's a public place. And you're having this nice, no-rushed conversation with this new person. And they're actually really kind of warming up to you because they're like, I am really glad you pulled me aside because I was ready to dart to my car and dart home and get there and just forget about the night. But because you said, hey, do you got a minute? Would you like to hang and just, maybe get a cup of coffee here at the bar? They're still open, till 11 or whatever, Let's say you're at one of those hotels where they have singles events in the conference rooms, etc. So you just go lounge it over in the hotel lounge restaurant area. That's kind of cool. So I know it's a little late, but I'd like to continue our conversation just a little bit. Do you have a few more minutes? Sure? Okay, great. Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm actually kind of hungry. How about a bite to eat? I'll treat, whatever. Never ask questions with no and yes responses, unless you can add a follow-up question or something new to interest someone. So no basic questions. Do you like being here? No. Have you had a good day today? Yes. Stuff like that. Anyhow, these are just some conversation tips. There's more stuff coming in Find the One for Me and also throughout some of my other books and audiobooks, which are also available to listen to. Good stuff. I hope it's helping you. I know for me, it helps me navigate the shark-infested dating waters out there, the jungle, areas with all these people and crazies out there, Hey, not that you and me are crazy, but there's other crazies out there. Other people, them, not us. All right. Hey, let's continue to the next audio in this series of Find the One for Me. Part 3, Looking for the One for You. Let's check it out.